Hi everyone, welcome back to foxlearn. In today's video, we're going to implement authorization and authentication based on roles in ASP.NET Core Identity using .NET 9. Let's dive in. First, open NuGet and install the required packages. You'll need to install and update the following libraries in your project to support ASP.NET Core Identity with Entity Framework Core. We'll be building on the same project from the previous video titled Build CRUD Application with ASP.NET Core and EF Core. If you haven't seen it yet, be sure to check it out first. Once that's done, we'll go to the application DB context and change it from inheriting DB context to identity DB context. Next, we'll open the program.cs file and add the following configuration to register identity services. Now, I will open Package Manager console and run the following command to create the necessary tables in the database. The first time I run the command, it fails, so I'll need to rebuild the project and try again. Now, I get a message saying my EF tool is older than the runtime version. To fix that, we'll update the EF tool by running the following command. After updating, I will restart Visual Studio and run the command again to generate the tables in the database. If the command runs successfully, you will see the ASP.NET Core Identity tables added to your SQL database. Now that the database is ready, I'll create a partial view named Login Partial. Inside this partial view, I'll add HTML code to display login, logout, and register links. If the user is logged in, I'll show their name and the logout link. If they're not logged in, I'll show the login and register links instead. After finishing the login partial view, I'll add it into the layout file. Next, we'll add the authentication pages like login, logout, register, and register confirmation by selecting Add and then New Scaffolded Item from the project. Once the scaffold is added, I'll go to program.cs and remove the line Add Default Identity because it's automatically added whenever we use scaffolding. After that, we'll configure the website to use authentication and enable Razor Pages support. By default, ASP.NET Core Identity includes email sending functionality, so you'll need to implement the email sending logic yourself. I'll tutorial sending email in the next video. For now, I'll create an email sender class that implements the iEmailSender interface, and the sendEmailAsync method will just return completed tasks. After creating the email sender class, I'll register it in program.cs using add_scoped to inject it into the application. Now let's test it. I'll create an account, and if you encounter the same error as I did, you'll need to add default token providers to add identity in program.cs. Once that's done, I'll create a second account. As you can see, no more errors. Next, we'll open SQL Management Studio, navigate to the ASP.NET Roles table, and manually add the admin and user roles. I'll also go to the ASP.NET User Roles table to map the users to their respective roles. Let's move on to authorization. I'll create a new profile controller and add an index action. On top of the index action, I'll add the authorize attribute. This means the user needs to be logged in to access this page, but roles aren't required yet. Next, we'll go back to the student controller we created in the previous video and add the authorize attribute with the role set to admin. This will make sure only users with the admin role can access the controller. I'll also update the layout.cshtml file to add a navigation link to the profile page. Now, we need to add an access denied page to handle users who don't have permission. In program.cs, we'll configure the application cookie using configure application cookie to specify the login, logout, and access denied pages, along with cookie settings like timeout and more. Remember, if you're using identity, the default login path is /identity/account/login. You should also add /identity/ to the logout and access denied paths. Finally, I'm going to hide and show certain navigation links based on the user's role. I'll create another partial view named navPartial and copy the current navigation links into it. Inside this view, I'll use user.isInRole to check if the user is an admin and display the student link accordingly. I'll also use isSignedIn to check if the user is logged in. If they are, I'll display the profile link. If the user has the user role, I'll hide the student link. Let's run the project and test it. If a user tries to access a page they're not authorized for, they'll be redirected to the Access Denied page. If they're not logged in, they'll be sent to the Login page. That's it! We've successfully set up authorization and authentication with ASP.NET Core Identity. In the next video, we'll dive into customizing the login and register pages in ASP.NET Core Identity. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to click like and subscribe to foxlearn for more tutorials. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.